So in this video, I'm going to talk about what I think are important settings with Questrade, and I'm also going to show how to set up alerts with Questrade. So the first thing in my opinion is if you're an options trader or if you use any option strategy at all, it helps to group your positions by strategy. So by default, your positions are normally grouped by position, as you could see here. But if you're actually doing a strategy, an option strategy, it's better to group it by strategy here, group by strategy, because you get to see them this way. It's more organized, easier on the eyes, and it makes sense because you're actually entering the trade with that strategy. So you sort of want to see it together to be able to evaluate it. At the same time, if you decide to close this trade, you get the create order button. But if you're not grouped by strategy and you're grouped by position, you don't have the create order button. You'll have to do it individually. So by grouping it by strategy, you get the create order button. You click create order, it gives you the order entry window. This is the trade that allows you to close your opening trade. So you can close your spread in one trade. Now, the second important setting that I would add is the customize button right here. So let's say you wanted to roll this trade. Well, instead of closing this trade individually and then opening a new trade, you could simply click customize, add puts, choose the expiry, choose the strike, do it again, add put, and this way you could do it all in one trade, save on commissions. If you have active trader pricing, you could save on that flat fee per trade. You could even add stock if you want, but I think you're limited to 4 legs. So if I add a stock, I add a put, I no longer can add anything because I already have 4 legs. But I can play around with the contract size and the share size. I think another important setting is, let's say we group it by position, and then we go to settings here, the icon at the bottom left, and then we click on account. Under positions here, you've got show close positions. By default, I think this is checked. In my opinion, I think it's better to uncheck it, because if you leave it checked, you're going to end up seeing positions that you've already closed and it just says 0. So it's just an extra line for nothing. So settings icon at the bottom left, account, show closed positions, make sure it's unchecked. Here's an interesting setting. I don't think that it's that important, but it could be important to some. So back to setting icons here, click on orders, and you've got default values for your order. So if you, for example, you know that you always like to use a limit order or market order, you can make sure that you could choose it over here so that every time you open an order, it defaults to that. You could choose the number of shares you want to buy whenever you place an order, and the increment that it changes by whenever you click the plus sign or the minus sign. Same thing on the option side. If you've got a minimum amount of contracts that you always trade, you could set it by default over here. And same thing for the increment every time you click the plus or minus sign. Now a little bit lower, this is a feature that I like, to get email and SMS alerts when the order is executed. Now how to set up alerts with Questrade. So if you click on alerts on the left side here, you've got 3 columns here: active, triggered, canceled. Now obviously I've got nothing, so you don't see anything, but let's say I wanted to create an alert to get an email or a text message when a stock drops below a certain point or goes above a certain point, or even an option price drops below a certain price or goes above a certain price. Well, I simply click on custom alert here, and I can set up my own alert. So I could choose the stock that I want, or I could choose the option that I want with the expiry and the strike. So let's say I wanted an alert if SPY drops below 360. So I simply look up the SPY, and I could do an alert on the price, on the 52-week, or on the volume. So let's say I wanted to do on the price, I wanted to do on the bid price, but as you can see here, I've got many other options: ask price, ask size, depending on what I choose under the category. But let's say I choose bid price, click smaller here, and I simply choose the value here, let's say 360, and then I choose the notification method, email or SMS, or both. The alert duration, how long do I want it active for a year, active until a certain date. I could also activate outside trading hours, and I could also send a message to myself, leave a message or leave a note. So this, and then I simply click on activate. So once this is activated, you'll see it under active. So what this means is I'll get an alert by email or text message if SPY drops below 360. So this way I don't have to be watching the stock market. I don't have to be in front of the computer. Let's say I'm busy at work. Well, then I could set this up. If I get an alert by text message or by email, then I'll go in and take action regardless what the action is. Now it's not gonna place an order for me automatically, but this is just to send me an alert to remind me to go in and take action if I want to. And obviously if I want to cancel it, just click on the X here and it's deleted. If I could do another one, custom alert, I could do an option, pick SPY again, and then I could choose the expiry, let's say December 18, and then I could choose the strike. So you can see the 360 calls trading for around 8.15. This time I want to be advised or alerted if it goes above, I don't know, $10. If the call option goes above $10, send me an alert. I choose the notification method. The alert duration, I could choose what I want, active until a certain date, and then just simply click activate. Change my mind, I can cancel it, otherwise it's never gonna cancel because I think I chose activated for a year. So another important setting here, or maybe it's more of a feature, but the gadgets here, you could change what you see on the side here. I, for example, have a watch list, but I could actually remove it simply by clicking delete here. So if I go back, simply by clicking the three dots over here, I can delete this watch list and I can add gadgets, and I've got these choices here of gadgets that I can add on the side, and I could even have them as a pop-up browser, so it's a separate tab. I think by default you get the balances, but I don't think that's useful because you already have the balances if you want to. So I like to keep a watch list on the side, and you can actually make the window the right side, you can actually make it bigger by just extending this way, and you can remove it completely by clicking here. So another important setting in my opinion is under accounts, so not under trading but under accounts, and if you go to account management, and then scroll down and go to currency settlement. So this means if you've got a stock in Canadian or a stock in US and you sell it, do you want the funds to stay in Canadian and US, or do you want it to stay in the same currency as the stock that was just sold? So I personally have it as currency of transaction. So if I have Canadian stock and I sell it, then the funds are gonna stay in Canadian. If I have US stock and I sell it, the funds are gonna stay in US. This way I avoid the back and forth conversion, which comes with fees, of course. But if for whatever reason you had a preference to either convert to Canadian every time or convert to US every time, well, you could change that. You have that ability to do it under currency settlement. So I think that's about it for important settings. I think anything else is more features, but I think these are useful settings in my opinion to just make your trading life a little bit easier. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. If you can open an account with Questrade to trade on the stock market, use my referral link below to get $50 in free trades. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button, share with a friend, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.